Welcome back everyone, my name is Eltimar and we're going to be continuing our Let's Play of Wrath of the Righteous. Where we left off last time, we had helped Arushale with her dream situation and we're going to deal with... Oh, Gloomy Gorge is under siege. Where is a Gloomy Gorge? It's way up here. Do we have an army in proximity? We do. It's only a level 6 enemy, let's go take care of it right now. Shouldn't take too long. More bugs, and those bugs moved, and we're just gonna fireball this group. And that kind of worked. Throw some spears at some headhunters, or use some headhunters to throw some spears at people. And we're just gonna move up and hit these ones. Finish them off. Delay action. Don't quite win. Lose a couple more troops. Don't bother to cast a spell because why would we? Win the fight because those are summons technically and they don't count. And we're done. Alright. And we're off to this outpost. Okay, so we don't need to move. I guess we can move this army a little bit. This way. Back towards Dresden, I guess. Is anything else under siege? That's our group. Okay, so we have 1.5 million armies right now. Our undead army's down here, just chilling. So we're gonna move some armies down to go join up with them, of course. We can join these up. Good. Adding to our undead hordes and also trying to minimize our just truly monstrous amount of random armies scattered around the map. Oh, I wish it would just keep going even though you turn off which army you're dealing with. If I had a complaint, that would actually... We can solve some of our army problems right now. Look at that. We joined them up, and now there's only the one army. Let's just continue moving it. And we have this army. This is a brand new one, made by just murdering the last one, so off we go. It's a 77 movement journey, so it's going to be a little while. Alright, moving on with our main force. We solved the problem with the enemy army for now. Do we have any recruitment to do? We sort of do. We have some champions. No. Keep going. You can pause when you get to the army. Alright, let's rest up, because there are some nastier fights in here. There are some not nasty fights in here that I know of. So we're going to go in to the Hellknight's outpost. We already have Rigel with us because we always have Rigel with us because he is our good character. He's a great little fighter and he smacks things around. We also haven't respect him, which I probably should have... Actually, no, he's level 5 armature. We definitely did. Okay, good. I did the thing I was supposed to do a long time ago. Rigel advances forward. Rigel scans the top of the hill, wisps of smoke rising into the air, giving away the location of the Hellknight outpost. We must hurry and remain very, very alert. I'm ready, let's hurry. We're going to do a little bit of buffing ahead of time because enemies. I guess we can shield. Okay, let's start getting other spells out though. We need... Why don't you have any spells? Because she's drained. Right. She finally lost her disease, but I didn't replenish her stuff.
You are my favorite aid.
Do you still get your spells per day now, or are they just gone for today? That is super annoying. Well, live and learn. Can't do anything about it now. I don't think we need any of these spells yet. We already have less. We can shield on Rigel.
Crave your commands.
That's not what I meant to cast. We can cast... Don't need Stone Skin, I don't think. I'm not going to do too many big spells, just like our normal blurs, and we have shield on. What am I doing? Don't do that. Don't double cast on him. Go give it to that one. And him. And, of course, you You can cast that on him. No, wait, he already has... Why does he already have that? Okay, don't bother that. Let's get haste, and then we're gonna go.
My unbiased opinion?
I think that'll be just fine. I'm slightly annoyed that we can't have, like, hurricane bow and stuff, but whatever. Oh, Mox time. Dead. Next group.
I see blood.
Why? Oh, you're a Skeleton Vanguard, right. I was like, why are you charging in? But that is literally your job, to go in and die. Skeleton Vanguard is so bad. Like, just bafflingly bad at his job. A pale youngster practically prostrates himself before you. Finally, someone's here, and it's the Crusaders too. Please help me, I'm all alone and I don't know what to do. The lad's appearance perfectly matches the description of one of the cultists who were supposed to arrive with the lost escort. Virgil notes dispassionately, gripping the handle of his weapons. Cultist? Me? No, I'm just an apprentice craftsman. They made us work against our will there. Seems to me like the cultist is either lying or keeping something from us, or even worse. The lad recoils, then surprisingly deftly jumps back from you. Try and surround him. Dead. The Fowler of Virtues is dead. One less demon. Splendid. It's further proof that those tainted by the cult of Baphomet can never be trusted. Wise words. Most who succumb to the demons can justify their actions one way or another, but the outcome is always the same. Their weakness, unworthiness, and demise. I must commend your shrewdness. We would have had it rough if you hadn't unmasked the demon. We must verify the claim that the knights have returned to the outpost. Move on. Which is something we are definitely going to do. We have a couple perception checks that we passed down here, but they actually don't tell you anything. Just tell you that the Hellknights restored the fort perfectly and that the doors are wide open and show no signs of battle. Those are the two things that they mentioned, so just as a heads up. The Hellknight outpost is shrouded in silence. The three chapters seem to have simply vanished, leaving only the pillars of smoke from their fires to testify to the recent presence of the living. That doesn't seem to unnerve Regil in the slightest. He dispassionately scans the empty camp as if waiting for something. Breaking the prevailing silence, a sudden musical laugh sounds harsh and almost sinister. Knight Commander, at last, I've been dying to meet you. Come on, don't be so sullen. Come on over and have a little rest after your journey. You can always stab me or hit me with a spell a bit later. If you feel like doing that of all, of course. Do you see what I see? A trap. The Count's wide gesture encompasses the entire area, and he nods at the succubus and its bait. What an arrogant, talkative demon we got here. I can see you've made yourself quite at home in our camp. What have we here? One of those black-armored blockheads? Why don't you join me and the commander for a little meal? Surely the mighty Hellknight isn't scared of a little temptation. The demon bats her eyelashes innocently. Regil subtly frowns. Surprisingly, he then steps forward without hesitation and sits next to the demon. Let's talk. Regil, don't you think we should refuse the demon's requests? The Hellknight permits himself an odd smirk. Sometimes it's useful to know your enemy. Alright, let's talk. The demon claps her hands joyfully. Eltimar, you have no idea how eager I was to meet you and how quickly I got here when I discovered you were coming. Do you feel at ease talking to me in the shape? Because I can always slip into something more comfortable. With a snap of her fingers, Coranda becomes a golden-haired, bright-eyed young man dressed in the white of a Sarenraean cleric. I can look like this, so likable, so trustworthy. Or if you prefer, this is my favorite form. It has driven so many crusaders out of their minds. The demon's playful pose oddly clashes with the strict, upright appearance of Queen Gelfrey. Very charming. Now stop this farce, demon. Oh, Sir Knight, do tell me, aren't you bored with yourself? Every soul must feel something to get their blood pumping. Some are driven by avarice, others by lust, and others still by envy. And if you think you've managed to shield yourself from every vice and every flaw, well, that just means you are blind, and your vice is the greatest of them all. Pride. You said you knew I was coming. How? The demon looks astonished for a moment. How did I know? Oh, we all have our sources. Perhaps I'll tell you all about them, Commander. We can establish a certain friendship. Are you here to preach to us, or do you actually have something meaningful to say? The demon's expression grows serious. I apologize for the frivolity, Knight Commander. It's so hard to restrain myself. I blame those Hellknights. Ugh. No denizen of the Abyss could torture them as thoroughly as they torture themselves. But now on to business. I have a rather unusual request. I'd like to become a crusader, and before 1,001 objections escape your mouth, think about this. Your fame precedes you by quite some distance. They speak of you even down in the abyss. We have never encountered anyone possessing such power. That is so exciting, the demon exhales loudly. I've even heard that part of your power trickles down to your most loyal companions, so why would a clever lady like me keep on serving demon lords when instead there is someone so unusual and intriguing? I can't promise you that I'm going to kneel before that Ayamade of yours right away, but I have many, many interesting stories to tell about my friends from the abyss, and of course, I can also be of personal use to you. Any shape you desire, remember. I'm not even sure which of your suggestions is more revolting, demon, your effortless betrayal of your kin or your filthy insinuations. Coranda's tail suddenly springs up and its tip gently caresses Rachel's cheek. Oh, do smile a little, Hellknight. This isn't hell yet. What else can you do with this tail of yours? I could pluck a few simple melodies on a harp unless you have a more enticing suggestion. I'm not interested in your personal use, but I could do with some information about your fellow demons. Tell me everything you know, and then you may consider yourself enlisted. Fine, but I'm not used to giving up so easily, the demon chuckles. Want me to convince you? Here's a little tease. You asked me about the Hellknights from the camp. They've locked themselves in the Outpost main building, scared out of their wits. Go let them out. I'll join you later and tell you everything I know about the plans of my former allies. It's a serious conversation, so I'll have to be very thorough. Rachel's expression is difficult to read, but he does not seem very happy. Through clenched teeth, he says, "Come, we must examine the building." Just gonna pause for a second. Alrighty, let's go figure out the rest of this mystery involving the Hellknights. And this says, a few mortals apart from the Hellknights would dare settle in next to a hotbed of blight. We are definitely going to get ambushed at the keep. It's going to be annoying because I think that we are going to have to fight everything from outside as well as inside, and it's going to be just a pain. So we're going to actually super buff up our group. We're going to get all the rest of our buffs that we don't have currently active, including things like death. Oh, right, she has no spells, which is very irritating. We'll get Burst of Glory. That's 1 round per level, though, so we're going to have to...
Smile. The world's not ending just yet.
I want you to be in the middle of the group so I can do word of... You know, move here. Wendwog, move here. That should be good. Alright, what other spells do we have kicking around that we can start to cast a bunch of? Owl's of Wisdom. Let's do that. Let's mass Owl's Wisdom. We'll grab... We'll grab a Displacement later.
Your orders,
What else do you
Commander.
have? I don't think... Maybe Shield will be useful, but that's about it for him. We need protection from... This is an interesting thing. We need protection from... I think it was Electricity Communal. And also Ice. And then also, we're going to need... Who is the other one?
Only you deserve my obedience.
Do we do protection or resistance? Okay. We also need protection from energy. Both for electricity. Oh, that's not communal. That is per person. Whoops. Do we have communal protection from electricity? We do, but it's, I think, on Camellia. It absolutely is. Alright, well, I mean, the resistances should be helpful enough, I think. We are going to be dealing with some level drain.
So many thoughts.
The waiting's never
Who has
fun.
Death Ward? Does anyone in this group even have Death Ward? I don't
You are my
think we
favorite.
do.
I crave your commands.
Well,
We really don't
Miss
have
me
Death
already?
Ward. We're not going to use Circle of Death. We don't need Cure Moderate Wounds. We don't need Heal at the moment. Slay Living is not going to help us. Breath of Life might help us during the fight. Flame Strike might help us during the fight. Oh, we do have Death Ward. Let's Death Ward literally the whole group, because we don't want to deal with level drain anymore. It's just going to take all of our spell slots. Luckily, we don't particularly need these ones other than Restoration, but we should need Restoration if we have Death Wards, so that should hopefully be okay. We have a couple Restorations left just in case, and we're going to do Bless, of course. Or not Bless, Haste. And we're going in.
Forward!
Come on, there we go. Don't want to waste spell time on that. A tall man wearing black armor and a full helm salutes you with his sword. Knight Commander, you rallied to our defense. We were forced to retreat under the onslaught of the demon Coranda and her lackeys. We held position for as long as we could, but we were sure to perish without outside help. The knight adds in a hushed tone, "Many of us are injured. Could you assist us, please? We hid the wounded in the back of the outpost so that the demons couldn't reach us as easily." Regil remains silent and calculating as he studies the knights. "Your story has too many inconsistencies." Regil permits himself a slight smirk. "I was hoping you'd see through the ruse, Eltimar, and I'm not disappointed. I expected more from you, demon. Your cleverness won't save you, mortals." That's a giant Hellknight. Look how tall that dude is. And he kind of teleports over there. There's a bunch of shadow demons. Deep shadow demons, I should say. I'm going to let our group just kind of do what they want. Actually, I'm not, because they're not set to this.
Spirits demand your blood.
Let's start to do this. So I'm going to use those guys to shoot those guys. This guy is going to flame strike over here-ish. Hopefully that'll hit something. Regil, go fight those. You go fight that. And you go fight that. Go, everyone break. And Darren, get out of the way. The Vanguard can do whatever he wants out of here. Oh, right, Darren's spell didn't get to do anything now because I moved him. It did some okay damage. Now there's also Succubi, Coranda. You know, all those things coming in. Cone of Cold won't do very much. Demon, because I definitely cast resistance. And I did not do light. Oh, I did lightning, yeah. Never mind, we're good. Oh no, that's gonna hit our group. Don't do that. Sorry, Darren, you gotta, like, not do what you're about to do. Regil is down, but that's actually okay. There's only one guy left. And that's the end of the fight. I think someone got dominated.
This condition is irrational.
Wait, the ugly shadow hisses. "Let me ransom my life crusader." Why did I get all this stuff? "Let me ransom my life crusader. I have loot, much loot, that I picked off the fallen." Is that Regil's stuff? It definitely is. Oh, because he was Dominator. Right, now he's rejoined our group. Okay. "I have loot, much loot that I picked off the fallen. Surely it's worth the price of letting one poor soul slink back to the abyss." The cultist hostage trembles with fear and fails to utter a word. His eyes are pleading. "Hope blue's worth it. Hand it over and get lost. Take it, it's yours. The abyss awaits me. Martyr's testament." "Nothing awaits you now." Regil's strike is swift and precise. Good job, Regil. The demon's death rattle reverberates off the walls. In its dying agony, it squeezes the kneeling cultist's neck with its claws, practically tearing the man's throat out. We vanquish the demons, but we still don't know where the knights from the camp are. Regil casts a stern glance in your direction. "Take a look around if you think it best, then we must leave. It is time." I was wondering why we got all that weird equipment, but that actually makes a lot of sense. What's Martyr's Testament? +4. You become vulnerable to fire, but get +4 on will saves against and immunity. Or sorry, +4 on will saves and immunity to mind-affecting conditions. I mean, if we weren't going to take a lot of fire damage, or we already had fire resistance, that would be an excellent ring. Not being able to be dominated and stuff is pretty good. Grab that. It's weird that sometimes you don't get the adamantine full plate from Hellknights, but I guess that kind of makes sense because you would have so much of it at some points, because we have a lot of dead Hellknights on our hands occasionally. Fighting the Bleaching, Practical Guidance by Gusia Nordaquani. Gaisa Nordaquani? "The youth shall not leave their malady behind. Bleaching does not cling to people until they mature. What color is your skin? Apple cheeked yesterday, but deathly pale today. That's an alarming sign. Never be bored. Don't break your neck. Never give up. You are not alone." Okay. We have a 90% lockpick chance on this lock. It just shows how different our groups are. Camellia can lockpick this with ease. The other group had 30% chance. We did do it, of course, but just it was a very different situation. So there's cultist Hellknights around. This one says, "Don't kill me, please." This one says, "Don't kill me, please." This one says, well, they all just say, "Don't kill me, please." So let's go outside. Why is... Oh, Denio and Darren are here, but they're not moving because they are exhausted and they can't move. Unfortunately, hilariously, they don't have the strength to be able to move because I think they're both at 1 strength now because they suck at strength, which is fine. Oh, that is some serious potential corruption. Look at that. Oh, it's because we're resting 3 times. Don't do that. Just rest once. Why would I want to rest for 3s?
Is
There we go. We got a little bit of corruption, and we failed to do the corruption thingy, but that's fine.
What's in wait for me there, I wonder?
What did I pick up? Oh, garbage. Let's quickly throw that out, including that, and there was something else. That for sure. Full plate. And a chain shirt. Okay. Boop. Done. Let's leave. I don't think there's anything else to do here. Got a golden chalice. Cool. We need to find the Hellknights. Oh, there's something here now. Paralictor Amenos Renth leans on his longsword. At last, how did it go, Paralictor Durenge? You'll receive a formal report, Reneth, just like everyone else. Regil winces in frustration. And these must be the 3 missing chapters, right? Of course, Regil pauses, then deliberately continues in a louder voice so that Amenos and the other knights can hear him too. Everything that happened was, in a way, a show. We received reports about the location of several particularly cunning demons. Not the fighting kind, but those who specialize in deceit and temptation. We could have surrounded and destroyed their hideout, but instead we let them know the Knight Commander of Dresden would soon arrive in our deserted camp. The fiends swallowed it hook, line, and sinker. How could any of them miss an opportunity to prove themselves by killing the new leader of the crusade? Demons love talking about the pride of mortals, but in fact they suffer from that vice far more than anyone else. Regil smiles a cruel one. Now for the critical bit, my reasons. Even though the Orders knew a lot about the new commander's behavior, the information lacked veracity and consistency. For instance, it's always useful to know just how well your principal ally is able to resist deceit and temptation, and so I suggested that they meet with Coranda and her cohorts. So you're testing me? Yes, I was. Regil doesn't look away. Someone had to, seeing that Her Majesty Galfrey of Mendev is so prone to bestowing titles and armies without a second thought. Regil lowers his voice a touch, and yet you can't claim I was insincere. I made myself crystal clear when I stated my interest in your position and your unusual powers back when we first met. I also mentioned how important you are for our crusade, or for the crusade and our shared cause. We are the vanguard of what could possibly be the most important war of our age. No one can afford the privilege of blind trust with these stakes. Can't say I'm happy with the results. I trust this verdict of mine will serve as food for thought. On one hand, your sense of humor provokes questions, then again is an acceptable vice, a minor one. Regil shrugs with a shade of frustration. I understand your concern and don't begrudge this test. I'm glad we've reached an understanding, and I'm sorry that I had to resort to such measures. He bows respectfully. Now that we discussed everything, there's still a small matter to attend to. Regil looks at the ranks of the Hellknights and raises his voice. Yacker and Kel, 2 steps forward. I hear and obey, Paralictor Durenge. We must speak about your role in recent events. You received my order to visit the Knight Commander in Dresden and feed him misleading information. How should a Hell Knight behave in this situation? Yacker swallows dryly as he tries to feign composure. A Hell Knight must obey his commander's orders. If his commander's orders directly contradict the tenets of the measure and chain or go against the order's interest, the knights must report to his commander, or must report his commander to the higher order command. Regil's piercing gaze bores into the young knight. And what did you do? Did you report me? No, sir. With your permission, sir, I deduced there was some kind of test for the knight commander. That didn't seem right to me, but you don't have my permission to blabber excuses, knight. You gave him an order and now you want to punish him for following it? Well, if the commander deems my verdict faulty, then we shall postpone this review of your actions. Dismissed. That's all. Thank you for your visit, Commander. Well, there we go. We've completed the quest, I guess. Looks like the Hellknights are all back in place. We gained some experience, and I think that's where we're going to end our video. That seems like a pretty good place to me. Like always, if you have any suggestions or comments, please leave them below. Others will see you next time. Take care.